Hi, welcome back on Purpose Driven with me, James. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being part of our family. I have to say, it's such an honor and a privilege to come to you guys every week to share on some ideas and some thoughts which I hopefully are empowering you and are equipping you to become the best version of yourself, because that is what we are here to do on Empowerment Podcast. That is our desire, to see you becoming the best version of yourself, to see you becoming the person who you are created or who God has intended you to become. Through these sessions that we are sharing, we hope that you guys are getting well informed. As we have kicked off the second week of February, the month of love, I believe we kicked it off very, very well. And if you have not actually listened to this first two episodes of this week, feel free to do so. We have Power Monday. Nombilo Kumete was interviewing a couple. They were talking about dreams and love, the importance of education, and also building a family with a life partner, and also supporting each other in the dreams that they have. Such a powerful episode. You can listen to it, and I'm sure you're going to be blessed. And we had yesterday on Empowerment Talk Show, Nokolo talked about the importance of self-love. You know, many times people, when they desire love, they look outside. But it's very important that you start within yourself. First, love yourself. First, value yourself and treat yourself before you look to be treated by other people. Spoil yourself, just have that positive vibe, if I may put it like that. Yeah, so we are continuing with our series, and like I'm saying, it's a pleasure and it's an honor to come to you guys weekly to share ideas on different topics. And I've been talking about becoming an agent of change, and I hope you guys are learning a lot from that, and that you are also encouraged in your own life, in your own area, to start to want to become an agent of change, that you actually want to influence your environment positively. We are living in a very tough world, or tough time in the world currently. Not just because of the pandemic. In fact, mostly it's because of the pandemic, the coronavirus. But we seen before even that, the confusion that is around the world, especially in the leadership of countries. We have a lot of crises that were there before even coronavirus struck. There were a lot of crises, and it's a tough time to live in, with a lot of changes that are happening, unexpected changes, unexpected situations. You never know what's going to happen. So that is why I believe it's so important to become an agent of change, or to learn to become an agent of change. Because what we are saying here, we are saying you can actually influence your own environment, and influence it positively. That even no matter what is happening around you, as an agent of change, you choose how you are responding, You choose how how things are gonna go for you, even in the middle of any kind of crisis. You are in control as an agent of change, and this is it's a journey. It's a journey we are going through, and I hope you're taking time to reflect and to see areas in your life how you can become an agent of change. So today I wanted to talk about I want to put it like this: the character needed to become the agent of change. The character needed to become an agent of change. Maybe if we first have to describe what character is basically characteristics, if I may put it this, basically characteristics or a set of values that someone displays or shows in their life, and therefore you can see what kind of character they have. I wanna also use this definition which I found from a book by Dr. Miles Monroe called Power of Character in Leadership. I think that's one of the greatest book that talks about the importance of character in a person's life, and I recommend that you get it. He defines character as something that is unchanging, and he also says character is a commitment to a set of values without compromise. And for us to be able to bring about change in our environment, or to become agents of change, we actually need to evaluate ourselves and see what kind of values do we have. A value is basically something that you value, like it's saying it's a value. It mostly comes from a set of beliefs that we have, or that we grew up being taught by either our parents or the society, or even a religion. So values are something that you actually come from beliefs. So you have to check yourself, what kind of values do you have, because the kind of things that you value or that you put value in, they result in the kind of character and the kind of person you will be, and the kind of influence that you're gonna be showing around wherever you are. Yeah, so values, they lead us into what kind of character we are, or kind of character we have or become. So it's very important when it comes to becoming an agent of change, especially the kind of change we are talking about here is positive change, that you evaluate the kind of character, the kind of moral convictions that you have, the kind of ethics and principles that you are living by your life. Because the kind of things that you value, even when people they are around you, they can be influenced by that. They can be influenced by those things. And here's the thing: all agents of change, or people who become agents of change, they are driven by certain kind of values that they have for their life. They are distinguished by the values they have and they live by. So if it's someone, let me make an example maybe of the late Dr. Nelson Mandela. His value was that all men are equal. So he was driven by that very value, or that factor that he was valuing and that he lived his life by, and therefore he also inspired other people to follow him or to also fight for the same cause because of the kind of values that he lived by. And therefore, anyone who came around his environment was influenced positively to fight for equality and fight against apartheid. So we see how important values are. And the dangerous thing is that if you don't safeguard or you don't really choose your values intentionally, you will end up conforming to those that are around you, those that are around your community or around your space or immediate space that you are in. So you'll find yourself that if you are around people, maybe I'm going to make a simple example, people who lie a lot. Let's just say that people who lie, you'll find yourself finding it easy to lie because the kind of environment that you normally are around are people who are liars or people who gossip. You'll find yourself that now you are inclined to also gossip about people because of the environment that you are around and the kind of values that are going around. So in order for you to become an agent of change, do a self-introspection and check out what values do you have. And remember, the best values, they are always based on God's words. God's words or God's principles, they are never changing, and they are always a high standard for any kind of life that needs to live effectively. So it's best to find the values based on God's words and discipline yourself according to those values. And as we just continue to talk about becoming a positive influence or an agent of change, I want to make this statement. Just make sure you write it down if you are writing it down. Without positive values, you cannot bring a positive change around your environment. This means that you have to check yourself and discipline yourself, build up your character to become a positive influence, and it starts with you. You see, many times we're thinking if you want to have this kind of change that we are discussing through this series, you just have to speak it out and share it with a lot of people. But these kind of things that I'm sharing here, they are kind of things that you actually have to take time and apply them to yourself. Find where you need to really build your character, build up yourself more so that you can actually become an agent of positive change. And the greatest thing is that the power to change, or the power or the ability to actually change your values or to choose the right values, it's what God has actually gave us. There is one thing I always say is that the greatest power God has ever gave to human beings is the power to choose, the power of will. And remember, when we began starting this series, we talked about saying you can actually become anything, or you can influence, or you can become the change that you are looking to bring about around your environment and around your community, if it's a community, but around your immediate environment at most. And I love God's word so much because, when Jesus spoke and talked about kingdom citizens, if I may put it like that, he was telling his disciples who they are or what kind of people they are. He used examples like, you are the light of the world, you are the salt of the world, and even talked about the kingdom of God being like yeast that is put in dough. You see, all those things Jesus was using are actually agents of change. Light, whenever light comes, environment change, light reveals stuff, light brings about a positive change. And salt brings a lot of influence and also transformation around the environment. You can put a little salt even in anything, and then you will taste it. And one of my favorites is yeast. So yeast, as small as it is, you can put it in a big lump of dough. It will slowly take over the dough, and then before you know it, it is everywhere. The dough has now been influenced by the yeast. So we're gonna continue. I just wanna take it slow. I'm also applying these things and reflecting myself. So we're going to continue. I just wanted to take it slow, and today I just wanted you to reflect. What kind of values do you have? What kind of things that you are putting as values in your life? As we are continuing, I don't know when we're going to be ending with this series of becoming an agent of change, but I believe it's very important, and I believe we should look to become positive influence in our immediate environment, and also in our workspaces, in our communities, wherever we are. And sometimes becoming an agent of change doesn't mean you're going to be making a lot of noise. Remember the story I shared last week of the lady sitting by the lake, helping each turtles, cleaning them off. The small difference, it seems like it was nothing, but it made a lot of difference, because the one you help can also go out and say, I was helped by somebody, or I was helped, so let me help. It can be a string of positivity or positive change that can start by just one person being a positive influence in their environment. But the place where it starts, one place that is important, and this is the one place I want you to take away today, is that you have to have positive values. You have to have positive values. You have to evaluate what kind of values do you have, and you have to discipline your life with those values. And before you know it, people around you will be influenced by the kind of values that you are sharing or that you are living by. In fact, you don't just have to share them, you have to live by, and then people will see you, because Jesus Christ said, you are the light of the world, you are the salt of the world, and therefore you bring influence by the kind of lifestyle that you are living. So on our journey to becoming agent of change, not just agent of change, but agent of positive, influential change in our environments that is needed, especially in the times that we are living in, let's evaluate our characters, let's evaluate our values and see how are we living. As always, I would like you guys to get in touch with us, share your comments, share your ideas, share what kind of feedback or what do you think about our shows. Please do so. We have a WhatsApp number. The number is 065 615 6641, or you can just follow our page on Facebook, Empowerment Podcast. Hope you guys are enjoying our shows, and that you are actually taking steps to improve, to becoming better each day as you listen to our show. As you remember, we are available for you every day of the week, always there to inspire, always there to equip, and always there to empower you. Have a blessed day.